The man in charge of this British title rematch between these two, and it could be a very good one.
Round, the British Super Bantamweight Championship.
It is in fact the fourth time these two have met. It happened in the amateurs twice. They both won one apiece, and in the professional ring, Alldis beat Mullings very, very narrowly when they met 20 months ago. 116 to 115 it was. Alldis still the champion in the red and silver trunks, the black of Harrow's Patrick Mullings, who in his time has been in some real thrillers, Glenn.
Yes, he has. He's often in very good fights, and he really needs a win here. He's got to try and turn his career around, but Alldis is on the better form of the two.
He's won his last 7, in fact, Michael Alldis. Good self-belief from him at the moment, but Mullings can be dangerous early. Fast hands, and I think Alldis has already felt the weight of a couple of these. He'll have to be careful here, because Mullings has had a couple of quite quick wins on his record. The one problem with Mullings, I think, is that he really struggled, I think, to make the weight. He claims not, but he was an hour late for the weigh-in, arrived sweating, and only got inside the 8 stone 10 25 minutes after arriving at the second time of asking. So what do we make of all that?
Well, I think that's obviously a problem, and you've got to look for him to do well in the early rounds. As the fight goes on, that weight making, it might just be a bit of a problem.
Good fast start by Mullings. Alldis just a little slowly out of the blocks. He's blocking one or two of these with the gloves. Both of these two have had a few visits to the canvas in their time. Just about anything could develop here. They're obviously pretty closely matched. Good little chopping right there from Alldis, but Mullings snapping out the combination.
Yes, it's a good start from Mullings. He's letting his punches go pretty sharp. He's looking to have the authority in there.
Again, the jab working for Mullings. He's heavily outscored Alldis in this first round. Natty golden gloves they're wearing, aren't they?
They are something new, I think.
Little body shot there from Alldis, who has a fair dig, but Mullings, every time he does get hit by one, comes back with plenty more. Looks like he means business tonight. He's looking to regain this championship. Won it in rather controversial fashion against Brian Carr, the Scot, originally.
Well, he really has been the boss in here at the moment, Mullings. Good start from him.
And undoubtedly his opening round. Welcome back to Wembley. Patrick Mullings, the former car dealer from not very far from here, Harrow in Middlesex. This really is home ground at Wembley for him tonight. And Alldis just seemed very slowly away, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was last time, but he started with the right sort of attitude, Mullings. But he needs to keep this up right through the fight.
Yeah, we've seen him blow hot and cold quite often, Patrick Mullings. He first came to our attention in an absolute thriller with Spencer Oliver back in 1997. Mullings in the black trunks, remember, the champion Alldis from Crawley, which was where Alan Minter, the former world middleweight champion, used to be based, in Sussex. He's been away from home for 7 weeks at Romford, preparing for this fight, only going home at weekends. Keep the punches up, says Larry O'Connell to Alldis.
Well, Alldis is just trying to pick his work rate up a bit, but he needs to start to use that jab more.
Good uppercut there on the inside, stung Mullings a bit, but once again, when that landed, back he came with the combinations. be a difficult fight for the loser to come back from, wouldn't it, this one?
Yes, I think it's going to be very hard at their ages as well. They're both, you know, Mullings 30, Alldis 33. Difficult to come back into significance from a loss here.
Alldis has done 125 rounds of sparring in preparation, he was telling me. And he said the preparation went without a blemish, which is apparently a bit unusual. He's had 1 or 2 injuries in the past. Much more business-like start, though, from the challenger, Patrick Mullings. Former British champion and Commonwealth featherweight champion he was too. Upperweight wasn't really his division, though, and got removed of that by Scott Harrison.
Well, it's becoming a good fight here. They're both getting through with decent punches.
Just troubled a little by Mullings' hand speed, it seems to me, Alldis.
Yes, that's the difference at this moment. Mullings just getting through quicker punches.
Quite a few people in the trade have been looking forward to this one. It was originally scheduled for 3 months ago, but Alldis got a shoulder injury. Of course, these two will know each other pretty well by now, what with their 2 amateur battles and the earlier one.
And again, Alldis gets through with a shot, but Mullings straight back, very aggressive in the counters.
Oh, good right hand from Alldis, right on the bell. He's off balance more than anything, Mullings, but it was a good shot. He doesn't seem dazed or anything by it. I think it was a balance thing, wasn't it?
Well, he was caught with a decent shot that just seemed to sag the legs a little bit. There it was. He was a bit square on, but he did get caught with a roundhouse right. Just got his balance a little bit square on, but the right hand did come in.
It was a good shot, no doubt about that. He had enough about him to recover his balance quite quickly. So maybe we give Mullings the benefit of the doubt. Johnny Eames, it's only his 2nd fight with Johnny Eames, the trainer Mullings, at the TKO gym. The heavily employed Mick Williamson on the cuts again.
Yeah, very busy man.
Here's round 3. Mullings making a much better start than he did in their first British Championship meeting back in 1999 at the York Hall in Bethnal Green. He rather gave away the first half of the fight that night, as I seem to remember it. Got floored in round 5, which in the end proved to be the difference on the scorecard.
That's right, but I think that'll give Alldis a bit of confidence, that punch at the end of the round, and you might just see Alldis now starting to pick up his work rate and try and get control.
He's won his last 3 by stoppage, Alldis. Power might be a little underrated. I think the other question is, can Mullings sustain the pace of his start? Low blows from Alldis. Not going to tell you again, he says in a very professional manner to Alldis. You know the score. And straight away Mullings with a sharp little right, almost before Alldis had got himself back together after the caution.
Yes, that was a nice little cluster from Mullings, just trying to up the work rate again. He does look focused in there, Mullings.
And he is a little buzzsaw of a character, isn't he? Out of the ring as well. He dabbles in property, and he's a little chatterbox man about town.
Problems in his fights before have been just when he doesn't keep the pace going. He drops off the pace a bit, and times can be a bit lazy. He can't really afford that in this fight.
Alldis looking to continue this Indian summer to what had been a checkered career until the last couple of years. the left hook hit the glove to me. There's a real menace about Mullings here. He's straining at the leash, isn't he?
Yes, he really is. Looking to go forward. The counters are good. The lead punches are good.
And Alldis will be hoping that maybe the storm will subside. He may be in for the long haul.
Well, there's the boxing skills to weather the storm, Alldis. That's probably what he's going to try and do.
Good support from Mullings, who digs in a nice-looking right hand to the rib cage. Again, a body shot from Mullings, mixing it up well, full of confidence, and Alldis at the moment looking comparatively lethargic. Now, Patrick Mullings was saying at the weigh-in yesterday he feels naked without a belt around his waist and intends to get one back.
Well, he's boxing like it. That's exactly what he's trying to do. This is very focused work, very strong, very confident. He's going about his work well.
Here's the fourth round. Alldis, let me remind you, in the red and silver striped trunks, the champion. He wins a Lonsdale belt to keep, which is the first aim of any British boxer. Be a marvellous present for him to keep forever, if he could do it, but it's looking difficult for him, and he looked a bit unsteady as that right hand landed as well. Alldis there.
Yes, Mullings definitely hurt Alldis for a second there.
Mixing it up well, confidence growing every half a minute by the look of it for Patrick Mullings.
He's just really been taken by surprise. He's struggling to cope with this sort of pressure from Mullings.
It's strange, really, because at the weigh-in yesterday, Alldis looked by far the more relaxed of the two. There was the struggle to make the weight for Mullings. Different in the ring, though, so far, anyway. Good-looking left hand again by Mullings. Alldis hurt with a body shot as well.
Well, this is very sharp work from Mullings. He is looking good here.
You've got to give this guy a lot of credit, this Patrick Mullings, because he has this capacity to keep on coming back when you're beginning to wonder if he's had too many hard fights, and he'll produce some real sparkle.
Well, I don't know if he's really showed this sort of intensity since that fight with Spencer Oliver.
And tonight, I think the difference is he's sustaining it, isn't he?
Yes, he's keeping it going. He looks so focused, so intense on putting the pressure on Alldis.
Great right hand there, though, from Alldis. Just had to cover up for a moment. Head cleared now, though. Superb right uppercut. Hooks as well from Mullings, who's finding the angles. Driving shots through the guard, and at times up underneath it as well.
He seems to have that, the greater mental strength in there. Anything Alldis comes back with, he just fires back with a lot more. Mullings.
He's just making Alldis look as if he's a family saloon in a Grand Prix, isn't he, at the moment?
He is. He throws the odd good shot, Alldis, but he just can't really keep it going.
I think all Alldis is trying to do at the moment is just hang on in there and hope this storm might subside and he can come back later on. But it's getting pretty torrid for him in there. Yes, it's an unrelenting attack by Mullings.
You would think something's got to give under this sort of pressure.
It's a great performance by Mullings so far. Let's go to Adam Smith, who's with one of Patrick Mullings' old foes, Spencer Oliver.
Absolutely, and Spencer, Glenn was saying that he hasn't seen Patrick with the same sort of intensity since he fought you back in '97.
Well, I'd have to agree with what Glenn said there. Pat looks excellent tonight, looks revived. putting them together well. I've got him winning everything so far. Alldis really struggling to work Patrick out at the moment. Patrick just one move ahead, mixing those shots up so well, driving those uppercuts in. Tremendous performance.
He looks focused, fast, sharp start. No lazy patches from Mullings.
That's exactly what I said. He's focused. He's not switching off. We've seen him before. He has a tendency to switch off in rounds, but he's focused for the whole 3 minutes of each round. And that's the difference at the moment. Alldis really struggling to work him out.
At 33, can Alldis cope with this pressure?
If it carries on the way it's going, you've got to fancy Mullings big time.
Thanks, Spencer.
75 to 38 on total punches landed so far in Mullings' favour. It was noticeable in the corner, Johnny Eames keeping his concentration, focus right the way through. And I think sometimes that has been a problem for Mullings in his fights previously.
Yes, you're right. Sometimes he's looked bored in there. And I think that's maybe the thing they're trying to do, keep him focused.
Alldis at the moment trying to remember what the plot was. 4 rounds gone, and I think most people would have him 4 rounds behind.
Finished to Alldis. Towards the end of the round, he did start to stand and trade and catch Mullings with a few. But he needs to do an awful lot more.
Well, he just has to match Mullings' intensity, doesn't he?
Yes, and with Mullings having the better speed, you know, that gives him the head start. He gets his shots off that much quicker.
Come on, move up. Hey, come on. Low line. Straight right.
Good body shots from Alldis there. This is a bit better from the champion. Covering up quite well, Alldis, to be fair. Took a few of those on the gloves. The crowd are really getting into this at the Wembley Conference Centre, which has seen a few good ones down the years.
So you can tell by the way these boys are fighting how much it means to each of them. You know, there's a lot on the line. Their careers are probably on the line here.
Well, you said it earlier, Glenn. At their age, they can't afford a major setback, particularly Alldis at 33. This is a better round for Alldis so far, a bit less from Mullings. Lovely straight left from the challenger, Patrick Mullings.
It's their hard punches. They're taking a lot out of Alldis. It's how long can he keep taking them? You know, when's he going to start to give?
Just a bit of ring rust, I reckon, as well for Alldis. He's been out since January, you know.
Well, that often takes a little bit for Alldis to get going anyhow, and that layoff starting to do more in this round. It's been better for him.
Just a bit more even this round. It's another very good left hand though by Mullings, and a clubbing right too right at the end of the session. There's Alex Gower with Michael Alldis, the 33-year-old champion, who had a better round that last time. It was his best round so far, but it's not saying much because in the other 4 he was well beaten.
Yes, he was. He made just an edge that round for more of the work early on, where Mullings didn't do a lot.
Alldis in the red striped trunks, remember, the champion. It's at 8 stone 10 pounds, a comparatively recently introduced championship, this one.
It's just that one round I've given Alldis. Everything else for Mullings. And a very good fight here.
6th round, getting on towards the halfway stage of it. Alldis just starting to pick up the pace a little. I think he hurt Mullings with a body shot towards the end of that last round. He just gasped a little. Mullings when he came back to the corner.
Sorry, and that's where he does have to aim his attack. Try and take it out of Mullings' body.
a bit open to that straight left at times, Alldis. But this fight now is evening up, but Alldis has work to do on the scorecards, and a lot of it too.
Yes, now a noticeable change. Alldis is the one who's looking to get off first.
Definite change in the pattern. Round 6 here. For the moment, Mullings has called off the blitz.
And this is where Mullings might start to lose interest a bit. He is a bit temperamental.
Alldis was telling me that he's down to run a 10-kilometre race tomorrow morning for charity. I don't think he'll be in that, do you, somehow? Not after one like this.
Well, he's done it before, having games of football after fights.
Yeah, he's a good footballer, good left winger, apparently.
Well, he's certainly doing better now, Alldis, keeping the centre of the ring, pushing Mullings backwards.
Best round yet this for Alldis. Mullings trying to pick up the pace. Good left hand to the body from him. But Alldis just starting to write one or two different chapters now. Sharp right on the counter from Mullings. Alldis has won that round, for me anyway. Welcome back to Wembley. Fascinating plot developing here for the British Super Bantamweight title. Michael Alldis coming back in the fight.
He's looking a lot better now. Now he's getting his act together. He's starting to keep the centre of the ring, get the punches off better. This is more forceful work from Alldis.
And just a question, did Mullings really struggle to make the weight, and is he tiring a little because of that?
Well, he set a frantic pace earlier. Maybe he wanted to try and get Alldis out early, and now that's not happening. Maybe, you know, what's going on in his mind now?
Did he feel that he had to finish it early because he didn't really fancy a long distance battle? We'll see, just questions hanging in the air, not statements of fact or anything like that. Alldis is definitely going to the body, and if there is a problem weight making for Mullings, those shots will have a sapping effect. One of the troubles though for Alldis here, Glenn, is he's given Mullings such a big lead.
Yes, that is the problem. He's trying to claw it back now, but you know, it's difficult when you do lose so many early rounds. You've got all the work to do.
One or two low blows going in from Alldis, and he's had a warning before from Larry O'Connell. Have to watch his step. He might not get another warning. He might get a point deducted. Can't really afford that either.
Well, he can't, but I think he does realise that he has to go for the body, and in doing that, there's always a danger a couple of punches can slip low.
Superb start to the evening here, and so much more still to come too, with Nicky Booth and Billy Schwer in championship fights later. Looks like harder work now, doesn't it, for Mullings, who's lost a lot of that sharpness and speed.
Yes, he has. It's just the odd punch that he's catching Alldis with. Whereas before, it was good combinations.
Hit the arms with that shot. Good right hand got through, though, from the southpaw Mullings.
As Mullings trying to lift it towards the end of the round.
These two like stars in the same orbit, it almost seems, in their careers. Amazing to think they met in a 1992 English ABA final. Mullings won that one. Can he win this one?
Then that body shot goes in, and that hurt Mullings as well.
Noticeably more tired, Mullings. And to me, Alldis is pulling this back all the time. Let's go backstage now, because Nicky Booth, who's really shot through in the last year, he's in action tonight. He's got a big fight, and he's in the dressing room with Ed Robinson.
Well, Nicky, tonight caps an unbelievable season for you. You've got a world title fight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be the biggest fight of my year so far.
But you haven't had a lot of notice for the fight.
No, I've only had about six, 7 days at the most.
Have you seen any tapes of the guy you're fighting?
No, don't know nothing about him. Don't know him from diddly. He's just found out today he's southpaw, so that's a bit of a problem. But my skill and my power, I should be able to overcome that.
And you've never lacked confidence, have you?
No, in this game you've got to have a bit of confidence. You don't believe in yourself, what do you believe in?
So what do you think is going to happen tonight?
It's going to be a good fight, mate. I can't wait. Hopefully I'm going to take him out by 5 rounds. If not, we'll go for the 12, and my hand's still going up.
Good night, Nicky.
Cheers, mate.
Confident lad, isn't he? That's next up. Nicky Booth v Jose Samuanelo of Colombia, who's lost only 1 in 20 fights. Back to the 8th round of this for the British Super Bantamweight Championship. Now, I reckon Alldis might have won the last 3 rounds.
Yes, he's got the last 3 on my card, so he's getting ever closer, evening things up. Just 1 point separating them in Mullings' favour.
Mullings, we reckon, won the first 4. That was almost beyond dispute, or as much as beyond dispute as you can get in this business. Mullings has got to pick it up again, somehow. Good left hands from him there. He's a gutsy, fiery little character at his best. But I think he'd be the first to agree that he is quite erratic, not only from fight to fight, but almost within fights too.
Well, that's proving the case here, where it's been a definite change. And he's not getting off as quick anymore.
I tell you what, though, he's not in many bad ones, is he?
He's not. He is, you know, we've always said it, he is very talented, he's exciting to watch, brings a lot to the table.
I think he's been in 2 of the greatest fights we've seen in British rings in recent years, the one with Spencer Oliver and the fight with Simon Ramoni, one of them anyway. In one of those fights he picked up damage to the spleen and a couple of broken ribs. It was that hard. All this moving into the WWF for a moment there.
Just showing how strong he still is at this stage in the fight.
Good body shots again from Alldis, clipping away those hurtful little shots to the ribs.
Well, the difference here might be the conditioning and preparation of Alldis, which has been very good.
I think he realizes at 33 the training regime has to be monastic. Mullings shoots a glance at Johnny Eames in the corner, almost seeking fresh inspiration. Just not quite as accurate with his punches at this stage. Alldis looking a bit more tired himself, mind you.
Yes, he is a little bit. His work's more ragged. But still maybe just nicked that one as well.
And I think ragged summed up that round. Wasn't a lot, was there? Feeling the pace of it. Now overall, look at this, landed, and that's the column really that's of most interest to me anyway. Mullings has landed 134 to Alldis is 121. He's thrown a few more too. Success rate well, nothing in it.
Guess the work not as good. A few good exchanges though in that round. The rest pretty scrappy. They're starting to tire now, starting to miss with more punches.
Yeah, I scored that a level round, really.
I thought it was just more forceful, Alldis. Maybe just did a little bit more.
This is where all the conditioning pays off, all those runs up the hills early in the morning. Alldis in the red striped trunks. He says he's dedicating this fight to his wife, Amanda, who he says has to put up a lot with him away training. Used to be a scaffolder. Alldis gave all that up to just concentrate on his boxing career. He's got his 9-year-old son Tommy watching somewhere at ringside as well. Who can finish best now, really, isn't it? Down the stretch.
Who's got more in the tank, and who's more determined? Who wants it more? That old cliche, but it's often down to who's got the more determination in the home stretch.
First part of the fight to Mullings, second part to Alldis, who picks it up late. Good rally this from Mullings. Suddenly rediscovers his sharpness, as if from nowhere, as if somebody's put the plug back in.
Yes, a good little bust of hand speed and combination punching from Alldis, from Mullings, sorry.
Alldis with good body shots in return. Quite a few of them as well. Back comes Mullings with the combinations to the head. They picked it up in this round, all right, after that ragged round 8.
Well, terrific exchanges in the air. Nobody wants to give away anything.
Oh, that's a very good-looking straight right. That hurt Mullings. That straight right from Alldis. Hangs around on the ropes. Needs a bit of time just to absorb that one this late in the fight. And Alldis sensing maybe the moment. Good uppercut from Mullings. Needs to get away from there. Just a bad patch for Mullings there.
Mullings started this round well, but it slipped away from him. Good strength from Alldis.
He's got a sort of steady, controlled maturity about him, Alldis. It's a cracking round, no doubt about that. Tribute to both of them. Another good straight right hand from Michael Alldis. Digging in body shots again. Nice right hand too. It's good variety from Alldis. Bringing to bear all his experience after something of a roller coaster career. That would be true of Mullings too. That's Alldis for me. Mullings went through a real bad patch in the second half of that round. Let's go back to Adam.
Well, Mullings winning the first few, Alldis coming back, and what a great round 9.
Well, round 9 was unbelievable. The action swinging one way and the other. And to me, Alldis just doing enough work to win it. But Mullings with such a dominant start. Now Alldis coming back into it. And I've really got this fight all levels at this stage.
The clusters from Mullings, but the body work now from Michael Alldis. That rounds and rounds of sparring he's done, the 7 weeks of training. Is that what's going to make the difference?
It's definitely paying off. I mean, the body shots have been a main factor in this fight. He's slowing Mullings down. And as always in all the Mullings fights, he has a great start and then tends to slow down. And it's happened again here. And like I said, I've got it all levels at the moment. And pretty similar to the last fight, all to fight on the last couple of rounds.
The demon's coming back to Patrick Mullings. How much does he want it?
Well, this is what it's down to. Who wants it most? Who's the fittest?
And who is?
At the moment, you've got to lean towards Alldis. I would lean towards Alldis.
Interesting.
He certainly seems to be finishing the stronger Michael Alldis, the champion. Like Spencer Oliver, I've got it all level too. How about you, Glenn?
I've got 1 point ahead for Alldis. I'll give him the last round. Just did a bit more after a very good start of the round from Mullings.
Right hand again from Alldis. Well, who would have thought it after those first 4 rounds, when Mullings was so sharp and exciting. Breathing heavily, Mullings.
William, what an excellent fight this has turned out to be.
It has. I think it is just showing a little, though, that Alldis made the weight more comfortably of these two. I think that is a factor.
Yes, I think he looks the stronger of the two at this stage. But can Mullings dig deep? Can he get those fast barrages going?
Oh, and he's got him out of the ring and almost falling onto our tables at ringside here. Alldis, he's got 20 seconds to get back, and there's no count. It's ruled only as a slip. This is not going to be called as a knockdown. Well, he almost fell on top of our monitors at ringside there. Michael Alldis, he's okay. It's just as well he didn't bang his head on anything.
Well, that would have shook him up. There was some fall. He did bang himself a little bit on the benches.
Are those ropes a bit too loose, not tense enough? Does rather raise the question. Just seemed to fall through them. They kind of gave way. I think they might need to look at that later. Meanwhile, he can't turn away from this. Just when you think Mullings is on the verge of exhaustion, back again he comes with another rally.
Well, he's always been a very fiery character, Mullings. But always trying to show a bit of fire of his own in there.
It's pretty amazing stuff between these two. So often these British Championship fights provide us with some of our very best action. It's happening again.
Well, I think the British title means so much.
Oh, Mullings just caught there with the head of Alldis.
Yes, clash of heads. Mullings got it in the face. That took a bit out of him.
Didn't want a timeout or anything like that, though, did he? Let's get back to it. This is really attritional stuff now. You're looking at two very tired gladiators in there. Good right hand from Alldis to end the round.
You've got to go out and win these 2 rounds big time, okay? Go out and win them big time. You've got all the wind. You've got all the wind in the world. You're straight in, you know you're not straight.
Freddie King, Steve Richardson with Alex Gower in the corner there. Now then, look at this.
As he comes back throwing punches, he just sits down on the ropes and goes through them.
Look at your face, Glenn.
You see how much I was worried for him?
Yeah, it was. What are they made of, those ropes? Papier-mâché or something?
They're supposed to be a rope, I think.
It's not good enough, actually. Now, I've got to look at those afterwards. That should not have happened, should it? Well, we were nearly hit as well there. It's all happening here. Here's round 11. And this is still too close to call, I would suggest. It may well be decided by what happens in the final 6 minutes.
Well, I think it is very close. I've got it level on Michael. I thought Mullings did a bit more in the last round. It's a bit untidy. Another low shot going in there from Alldis.
And he's been warned about that once or twice by Larry O'Connell. Some referees might have given him a point deduction by now. And that, at this stage, could be decisive if it was to happen. Larry O'Connell, of course, was the judge involved in that big controversy in the Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis draw in their first fight, and he might have another tight decision to make here.
Alldis is trying to push forward with a good left hook from Mullings.
Made him think on the way, and Mullings catches him again with a left hook. Just as Alldis was trying to build the pressure.
And the quick punching of Mullings has often surprised Alldis.
And it's such a good contest that who knows, they might do it again. Just looking a bit lethargic for a moment there, laying around on the ropes, Mullings. Did something go out of him for a few seconds there? Caught low again. And this time, Mullings doubled up with pain. Larry O'Connell, I think he's telling him to get on with it, basically. I don't think he thinks he was really caught out badly, does he? What's he trying to tell him?
He's just telling him to get on with it.
Yeah.
I don't think he thought it was that bad. Mullings certainly looked as if it was.
I think he thought Mullings was just playing the old soldier a bit there.
And maybe that was a bit of a signal that Mullings just feeling the pressure more in these late stages.
Did have that peculiar little episode for a few seconds earlier in the round too. Alldis, good combinations. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is looking hard at the moment for Mullings. He tries to dig deep again, but Alldis has taken charge of this round, I fancy. It's real good work, this, from the champion.
Yes, he's really trying to punish the body of Mullings in this round. I think that's took a lot out of Mullings.
Well, something had to give here, didn't it? It really did. Almost fighting on instinct. Again, Mullings doubled up in pain as if caught by a low blow, and bitter that the referee's not making more of that. And there he is there in the corner. Well, how do you read that, Glenn?
I don't know, I think he's in distress. I don't know how much these body shots have took out of him. Certainly looks like he's got stomach cramps more than anything else.
Yeah, it might be that. He might have another problem. This is not good for Mullings with 3 minutes still to go. And it close on the scorecards. Is there some internal damage there? Remember, he broke 2 ribs against Simon Ramoni.
That's right. It could be a bit of a weakness to the body.
And what a belt that is. There is not a more handsome belt anywhere in world boxing than that beautiful Lonsdale belt. That's what's up for grabs there, and Alldis will keep it if he wins. Keep it forever. Look at that on punches landed. The computer says there's only 1 in it. Last 3 minutes of what's been an outstanding battle. Alldis, if you still need the identification in the red. Now Mullings, how much has he got left here? Larry O'Connell looking on closely. What a shame it would be for Mullings after all this if he ended up getting stopped, but there's nothing coming back. Alldis is firing in the punches. Mullings at last finds a right hand, and how he needed that, because he might have been seconds away from getting stopped if he hadn't thrown something back when he did.
Well, he really needed to find that punch. He's just on the verge of getting stopped. But a really good start of the round from Alldis.
Just what he was looking for. Surely Mullings can't find something else again. He's got a bit of damage by the right eye. That's too late to matter. Mullings, that is. Again, a right hand that's low, very low from Alldis. And he's going to deduct a point. Now, how decisive and how significant could this be? Well, that's like giving away a round. All kinds of drama here.
Well, he's only 1 point up on my scorecard. He's now given that point away.
He's dominating this last round, Alldis. But even if he wins it, unless he puts Mullings on the floor, it'll still only go down as effectively a level round. A bad mistake for Alldis to have made, but he can't complain. He repeatedly hit low.
That's right. I mean, I think it was a fairness, really, because he has hit low an awful lot.
Well, has Alldis done enough late in this contest to snatch it away, having fallen 4 rounds behind early on? Or will Mullings just get home? We're just over a minute away from finding out. I'll tell you what, Nicky Booth and Billy Schwer have got something to live up to later if they can follow this. Last minute.
Well, he's definitely winning this round, but that would just give him 10-9 and then losing it. Oh my God, it would work out level.
Mullings, who was in such pain at the end of the last round from some kind of body injury. What exactly, we don't know. He's showing enormous grit here, isn't he, too?
Yes, he really is. It's been tough for him in this last round, Mullings.
It just makes you think again. Professional fighters are an incredible breed, as far as I'm concerned. You sit here and wonder at it, watching it this close. Last quarter of a minute. Alldis has won this last round, but he has a point deducted. You'll get the decision straight away. No judges here. Larry O'Connell will lift one hand or the other. Which one will it be? We'll get the bell any moment now. There it is. And Patrick Mullings has taken the British Championship away from Michael Alldis. And it could well be that the point deduction for the low blow in the last round cost Alldis the title. Well, that was so good that for my money, they can do it again.
Almost definitely, that was very, very good. Very, very close. Nothing really in that. It was a shame for Alldis to lose that point in the last round, and maybe that's what cost him it.
I had the fight dead level. I'd have had Alldis the winner, but for the low blow deduction. I'd have had it level, a draw on my card.
Yeah, I think I came out 1 point ahead on my card to Alldis.
Even with the deduction?
Even with the deduction, but I think that was, you know, that was terrible for him to give away that in the last round. That was careless.
What a triumph for Patrick Mullings, who regains the British Super Bantamweight title, gets revenge for his earlier defeat by Alldis, and repeats his win of the ABA Championship in 1992. What an amazing career he is having. Hard luck on Alldis. It was a thriller. How close was it? We'll find out now.
Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation for both boxers. Referee Larry O'Connell scores in 104 points, Michael Alldis, and 106 points for the new British Super Bantamweight champion, Patrick Mullings!
No, I don't think that can be right. It can't be 104, 106, but a 2-point margin to Mullings from Larry O'Connell, which means that even without the point deduction, he would have had Mullings winning it.
Yes, I think they meant 114, 116.
Mr. Cecil Ross, the steward in charge, now presents the Lonsdale belt.
114 to 116, we can confirm. That would have been an 11-round scorecard, the one you heard earlier. But it was a 2-point margin for Mullings, who has the Lonsdale belt around his waist. Alldis won't get it to keep. Not for the moment, anyway.
I think we're already talking about the rematch for the rematch after that. But, Jim, what is it about Wembley here? We've had one fantastic domestic battle after another. Where does that one rank?
Never a bad one. Well, I tell you what, we've got far too many world championships at the moment, but there's only one way to get a Lonsdale belt, and those guys showed us what a Lonsdale belt is really worth. That was a fabulous fight from start to finish, and I think the point deduction on my card just turned it in Mullings' favour. But he's always going to be in close fights because he tends to go to sleep for rounds, but that was a tremendous battle from start to finish.
Who won it for you, Barry?
For me, ironically enough, I had it even. I had Alldis one up going into the last round, and he lost it because of that point deduction. But nobody deserved to lose there tonight. But what a wonderful fight. One of the best British title fights I've seen in a long time. Absolutely memorable.
And that is only the opener here tonight. The best of the young bunch, certainly, probably best all-round at bantamweight in Britain. Only 21 years of age. Nicky Booth tonight stepping into international class, Jim. It's been happening very quickly for the British and Commonwealth champion, but is it time that he does take another step already?
Yeah, well, he's only a baby, he's only 21, and things have happened all of a sudden. He hasn't had time to worry about it, and it's happened again. Less than a year ago, he was just a 6-8 round fighter. Now he's challenging for a world championship. He's a double champion already. I mean, I just don't think he believes that anything can go wrong in his life. Everything's on track, and he really believes he's going to win this.